never imagined that a single phone call could change everything. I never imagined that the people I loved most could feel like strangers overnight. It started on a rainy afternoon. I had just returned home from work, my bag heavy, my mind even heavier. The house was quiet, unusually quiet. Not the comforting silence I was used to. Not the peaceful silence I sometimes craved. It was tense. Empty. Like the walls were holding their breath. I called out for my mother. No answer. I called for my sister. Still nothing. I dropped my bag near the door and walked into the living room. Everything looked normal. The curtains were drawn, the sofa cushions in place, the kitchen untouched. But the air felt different. I could sense it before I even saw her. My sister, Emily, was sitting on the sofa. Her eyes were red, her hands trembling. I had never seen her like this before. "Mum?" I asked, my voice shaking. No reply. She looked away, avoiding my gaze. I could tell she was hiding something. "Please, tell me what's going on," I said, stepping closer. She shook her head. "Not yet," she whispered. The rain tapping on the windows made her words almost disappear. My chest tightened as I waited. I wanted to scream. I wanted answers. But something inside told me to stay calm. Then my mother appeared from the kitchen. Her face was pale, and her eyes looked exhausted. She avoided looking at me directly. In her hands, she held a letter. I took a deep breath. "Mom, what's wrong?" I asked quietly. She finally met my eyes. Her lips trembled as she spoke. "It's about your father," she said. My heart sank immediately. I had a feeling something terrible had happened. He has been lying to us for years," she continued. The room seemed to spin. My father? Lying? I could not believe it. Emily stood up suddenly. "I found out last week," she said sharply. "You deserve to know too." I waited for her explanation. But the words were hard to say. Finally, my mother handed me the letter. It was from my father's secretary. A stack of papers detailing everything. The accounts. The trips. And the lies. I could barely breathe. My hands were shaking. I could not believe the people I trusted most had kept this from me. "Why didn't you tell me?" I whispered. My mother's eyes filled with tears. "I wanted to protect you," she said softly. Emily shook her head angrily. "You protected her by keeping her in the dark," she snapped. I looked between them. The people I loved, the people I trusted, were fighting silently in front of me. I felt the ground fall away beneath me. I had to sit down. I could not process the betrayal all at once. Days passed. I tried to act normal. I went to work. I smiled at friends. But inside, I was breaking. Emily tried to help. She wanted to fix things. But I could not let her. I pushed her away. "You don't understand," I said one night. "I can't look at her. I can't trust her. I can't forgive them for keeping me in the dark." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "You're my sister," she said. "I've always been here for you. And now I'm the one who can help you face this." I wanted to believe her. I wanted to hold her hand and cry. But the anger was too deep. The betrayal too sharp. Weeks passed. I stayed in my room most of the time. I ate very little. I slept even less. The house felt colder than ever. One evening, I overheard them talking. My mother and Emily. They didn't know I was awake. They were whispering softly. "I feel guilty," my mother said. "I should have told her everything. I should have trusted her with the truth." Emily replied softly, "She will understand one day. We just need to be patient. She needs to find her own strength first." Hearing that gave me some comfort. Even though I was still angry, I realized something. They were human. They had made mistakes. But they still loved me. The next day, I went to the kitchen. My mother was making tea. I stood quietly, unsure how to begin. Finally, she looked at me. "Do you want some tea?" she asked softly. I nodded. She poured it for me. We sat together. No words were spoken. Just silence. Later, Emily came in. She sat across from me. She didn't try to force conversation. She just smiled. It was the first time in weeks that I felt a tiny piece of warmth return. Slowly, I started talking to them again. Not about the betrayal at first. But about daily life. Small things. The sound of rain. The tea. The way Emily laughed when she was nervous. Days turned into weeks. The anger began to fade. Not completely. It never would. But the warmth returned. The trust started to grow. One night, I found the courage to ask my mother everything. I asked about my father's lies. I asked why he did it. And most importantly, I asked why they had kept it from me. My mother cried as she spoke. She told me about fear. Fear of losing me. Fear of shattering the family. And fear of her own heartbreak. Emily held my hand as I listened. Her presence was steady, unshakable. She didn't judge me. She didn't rush me. She just let me feel every emotion. By the time they finished speaking, I felt exhausted. But I also felt lighter. I realized that family is not perfect. We hurt each other. We make mistakes. But love is what brings us back. I forgave them slowly. Not because it was easy. Not because I forgot. But because I chose to heal. Because I chose to take my life back. Months later, our family was not the same. It was different. Stronger. Wiser. More honest. I learned that the people who hurt us the most can also be the ones who teach us the most. That forgiveness is not about them. It's about setting yourself free. My mother, Emily, and I, we never spoke of the betrayal in detail again. But we spoke more honestly than ever. About love, pain, mistakes, and hope. I understood something important. Life is fragile. Trust is precious. Family is worth fighting for. Even when it hurts. And sometimes, the people you think you can't rely on, turn out to be the ones who hold you together. I still think about that rainy afternoon. When everything broke. And everything began again. I learned to live again. To trust again. To love again. Because even after betrayal, even after heartbreak, family is the place where we find ourselves. And the people who stay are worth everything.